Up until the end of the first three stanzas, we are speaking of a form of ego that lies within the sleeping Brahma, the sleeping state of Brahma, which took place before the Big Bang. This ego or desire or wanting developed over billions of years of sleep, and it drew the Brahma or divine eternal being into wanting and desire to create this physical universe. It was his will to do so. So this took place after the 7 cycles of duration, which we covered many times. Brahma deliberately creates will to create the universe. Here is the singularity, and here is the great sleep, which lasts for untold known billions of years. And then the spark of wanting and desire creates the universe. It is like an egg is nursed into creation. The first 3 stanzas of Dasyan moves this and speaks of it. When the creation happened, it was like a Vesica Pisces moment. Here is the egg of creation, and here is all the divine sparks, us, that emanated out, called the monadic fragments. Now, there are many charts of the various planes of consciousness and bodies of consciousness. And this idea is my version, which I believe makes the most sense and is the most practical. Now, the sparks entered the physical body, and in the physical body, it is the second level of consciousness is the mental body. That is closest to your physical body. The mental body controls the emotions and feelings. We'll get to that more in a moment. And this is the third level is the the ethereal body. That's found in meditation and dreams. And then further on into the astral body, which is found in much more meditation. And much more meditations, deeper meditations, you get into the higher self, the casual body, the Buddha mind form of body or energy field, the Atmic body, which is the divine oneness, which then allows one to reach what is known as the solar angel, which is the Sattva, the Mahatma, which is also the divine self with the powers of the Satthis, that is to be in many places at one time, and universal consciousness. And after all this, we return once again to the Atmic egg, the body of the unity of one. It returns and starts all over again. The Brahman, after billions and billions and billions of years, goes back to sleep. It contracts and returns. I'm going to be making a video right away concerning black holes and the nature of the structure of the universe in relation to this Big Bang, Big Crunch, Big Bang, Big Crunch cycle. Now, the purpose of life is to travel through the physical body through karma and reincarnations. And we do not get to these higher dimensions which for example I've placed in a downward here, so it's easier for me to describe the return to the unity. We do not get to these levels, these higher levels, until we have passed through many lifetimes of reincarnation and karma. The experiences we experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, the terrible, the fantastic, all of that is necessary for the soul to reawaken to its status in these higher forms of creation. We're not there yet, which is why we are here, back here in the physical. We emanated from the Supreme Oneness, but we are not when in the physical confines of the ethereal, mental, physical, the cycles of reincarnation and karma. We are not these higher states of being. That comes only upon achieving the Atmic and the Buddha mind. Until then, we are moving our way towards that process. That is the very reason of life. The very purpose of life is to go through these experiences that we are going through now, to get to these higher dimensions. Okay, so we now reach what is known as bridging consciousness. The bridging consciousness exists between a relationship between the physical body, the mental body, and the ethereal body. This is the abridging trinity. The mental body is what we eat, we drink, we think, which affects our moods, our emotions, and feelings. It is the closest field of energy to our body. It is number 2 in the planes of consciousness. The third field of consciousness is the ethereal body. The ethereal body is the buffer that is in between our world and the spirit's world. Not necessarily spiritual, but the world of the spirits and our world. It is like an ectoplasm, here placed as ecoplasm. It is what generates the laws of attraction and allows them to manifest upon thought. What we think will so be. As above, so below. As within, so without. That is what the purpose of the ethereal body is to do. It is the realm of dreams and the collective unconscious. This is the bridging consciousness that can be led to the astral planes. All right, so this is important to remember, that what we think, how we think, the way we think or not think, generates the ethereal, the laws of attraction, and how we feel and how our moods are, our feelings. All right. So, again, now in this third aspect, all right, we again get to the bridging consciousness, which is again the mental body and the ethereal body, or field of energy consciousness. What we want to do is, of course, move upward through reincarnation and karma, through into the Buddha nature, or the mastery of self, then the super consciousness, which is the collective unconscious. We tap into all that is, the minds of all human beings, the experiences of all human beings. Then the ultra consciousness, which is the galactic consciousness, and the hyper consciousness, I've placed the hyperconsciousness at the top, is the cosmic consciousness. Now, below the mental and ethereal, we have the ordinary conscious awareness, our knowing or not knowing of the ego. This includes social consciousness, our social abilities, and our societies. It goes around in a circle. And below that, all the tools, the inventions, the mechanical devices, our social structures, everything is a reflective echo of what exists in the subconscious. Okay, so the purpose of life is to get past the bridging consciousness through karma and reincarnation, and eventually move our way into the higher consciousness. But the point of what I'm trying to say is that to think that one's self is there in the Brahma, in the Atmic, in the Buddha, to say that one is in these realms already, that the soul is already there, would be a mistake. That's an error. And it's a very, very, very common mistake to think that you're already in these places. You're not. I'm sorry to say that. You're not there because if you were, there would be no reason for the physical existence whatsoever. The physical existence exists because we must go through reincarnation, experiences, and karma to eventually move our way back up into the astral, the higher self, the Buddha, the Atma, the solar angel. But we are not, as of souls, there quite yet. And that was because of the great sleep that Brahman went through. Billions and billions of years of sleep. And in that time, everything condensed into an infinitesimal singularity. And the desire for the Creator to want, to will, to desire, to create manifested. And when that happened, we chose to travel in a form of forgetfulness back into the physical realm. But to say that our souls are already of the highest frequencies, of the highest high known consciousness is ego. That's ego. You're not there yet until you have reached into the Buddha mind, which is unbiased, pure, giving, forgiving, thinking of others, working with others, leaving behind the desire for things, thinking more of others and wanting more of oneness with everybody. It is the leaving behind of the materialistic. Only then can our egos be subdued or mastered enough to enter the higher consciousnesses. We can achieve these higher consciousnesses briefly through very deep meditation, but those are only temporary. But the more often we do that, the greater we will achieve it. So I hope this helped you, and I shall speak more of these in even greater detail in the future. Thank you.